Prepare yourself, because what just unfolded on WWE SmackDown wasn't simply a return. It was a declaration of dominance that could change the entire landscape of professional wrestling. Roman Reigns, the self-proclaimed tribal chief and former undisputed champion, made an earth-shaking comeback that left fans speechless and opponents broken in his wake. The moment his music hit, the energy in the arena shifted like a tidal wave surging through the crowd. And he didn't return alone. Accompanying him was a towering, masked enforcer, an intimidating figure whose very presence seemed to bend the atmosphere. This wasn't just a comeback, it was a tactical strike, a calculated, bone-rattling display of force aimed directly at Seth Rollins and his new alliance with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. In one night, Reigns flipped the script, leaving fans stunned and the WWE Universe in complete chaos. The atmosphere was electric, the tension palpable, as the lights dimmed and the arena was swallowed by darkness. Then came the unmistakable opening chords of Reigns' theme music, slow and thunderous, sending chills down the spines of every fan in the building. Thousands of voices erupted, and just as quickly, a silence fell over them like a wave of awe. The audience knew something major was about to happen. A crimson static flickered across the Titantron, time codes bleeding into the screen like visual tremors. The speakers let out a pulse, and that's when the reality hit. Reigns was back, and this time, he had backup that no one saw coming. Out of the rising mist stepped the giant, flanking Reigns like a living weapon forged in shadows. He wore a full mask, his face concealed, but his terrifying presence did all the talking. His frame dwarfed everyone else, his movements deliberate and controlled, like a predator stalking prey. The moment he set foot on the ramp, the entire arena seemed to tilt toward him. Fans didn't just see him, they felt him. He wasn't just tall. He was massive, a 7'3" powerhouse who looked like he was carved from stone and trained in chaos. Every step he took sent a message. The game had changed, and Roman Reigns was no longer playing fair. He brought war. Then came the assault. What followed was not a random act of violence, but a surgical strike. Reigns and his monstrous enforcer unleashed devastation on a short but brutal list: Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. This wasn't just a warning shot, it was total annihilation. Bronson Reed, a dominant force in his own right, was hoisted like a ragdoll and launched over the announce table with one arm. The sheer ease with which the enforcer did it left the audience in stunned silence. Breaker, never one to back down from a fight, charged forward, only to be met with a thunderous spinebuster that made the ring quake. You could feel the vibrations through the screen. Rollins, desperate and outmatched, grabbed a steel chair and swung wildly, hoping for a miracle. Instead, the chair was caught midair, crushed in the enforcer's grip like a soda can. And then he simply stepped aside, clearing the path for Roman Reigns to deal the finishing blow to a broken Rollins. As SmackDown faded to black, the final image was seared into everyone's memory. Roman Reigns standing tall, eyes fierce, with his giant enforcer raising a fist beside him. The visual was haunting. SmackDown didn't just end. It was eclipsed. What had just happened wasn't an ambush. It was the beginning of a new reign of terror, a new chapter where Roman Reigns would stop at nothing to reclaim his throne and destroy anyone in his path. The WWE Universe exploded with speculation. Who is this enforcer? Rumors began swirling backstage almost immediately. Some insiders believe he's a former ex-JPW Demolition Machine, a legend in underground circuits, now rebranded and unleashed as Reigns' personal executioner. This is no ordinary muscle. This is a silent, obedient wrecking ball whose loyalty appears absolute. Paul Heyman, normally the picture of control and confidence, was seen immediately after the carnage, pacing nervously, phone to his ear, talking in frantic bursts. Whatever plans he had, they just got shattered. Bronson Reed, a competitor known for his resilience and ferocity, was visibly shaken. And that says everything. Reigns didn't just return to reclaim a title. He came back to remind the world that he is the alpha, the head of the table, the tribal chief. And now he has a weapon in his arsenal unlike anything we've seen before. The WWE is no longer a battlefield, it's Roman's kingdom. And every challenger now stands on a fault line ready to crack under the weight of this new threat. Where does Seth Rollins go from here? That's the burning question on every fan's mind. His decision to break away from the remnants of the Shield and form an alliance with Breakker and Reed was meant to be his path to power. But that path may now be leading to destruction. His camp is in disarray, physically battered and emotionally shaken. He wanted to start a war, but he may have summoned a nightmare instead. Can he regroup in time? Can Heyman craft a strategy to recover from this devastation? Or is the countdown to their collective downfall already ticking? Fans are speculating about everything. Could this lead to a War Games showdown at SummerSlam? Will the Enforcer finally reveal his name, his past, his purpose? Is there a larger plan brewing behind the scenes? And what about The Rock? Could the People's Champion be watching from the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to enter the fray? Every theory adds fuel to the fire. Every moment that passes brings us closer to what could be the most explosive rivalry in recent WWE memory. And just when the crowd thought the drama had ended, the lights went out again. The arena plunged into total darkness. For a moment, it was as if the world stopped. Then light. Not from the stage, but from thousands of phones raised high, shining like stars across the arena. A galaxy of fans holding their breath in a heartbeat of silence. The Titantron spasmed again, distorted signals breaking through, bleeding digital crimson like a countdown to chaos. Then that pulse hit, the pulse that signals the return of the head of the table. The entire arena shook, not from volume, but from vibration. The very concrete beneath them felt like it shifted, like the earth itself was responding to Reigns' return. Then came the mist. That slow, amber mist that crawled along the ramp like fog in a nightmare. You didn't see him immediately, but you felt him. Gravity itself seemed to lean toward the ramp. The entire arena tilted, a collective gasp escaping the crowd as that silhouette emerged, massive, deliberate, terrifying. He wasn't a man. He was a force of nature. Roman Reigns didn't just return. He redefined fear. And this story is just beginning. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop your wildest theories below. Because when these factions meet again, it's not just going to be a match. It's going to be war. Get ready, because everything in WWE just took a massive turn. Roman Reigns has returned to SmackDown with an announcement and entrance that sent shockwaves through the arena and far beyond. The impact of his comeback was immediate and unstoppable. Seth Rollins and his allies never stood a chance. Reigns didn't just walk back into the spotlight. He stormed it, flanked by a monstrous new enforcer, a towering, masked figure who instantly redefined the balance of power in WWE. Fans and superstars alike are still trying to process what they witnessed. If you haven't